This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
But next week is a really good match here on the show. I've had a lot of fun talking about the old school stuff with you, and next week is pretty old school, man. King Kong Bundy. We're going to do a profile on him. We're going to hope to get to Taboo Tuesday 2005 as well. But the main event, mark your calendars, boys and girls. It's November 13th, Eddie Guerrero, one of our most requested shows. We saved it for this particular anniversary. I can't believe this is a real thing, but that'll be the 15-year anniversary of Eddie's passing. We're also going to get to Survivor Series 95 and Survivor Series 05 before the end of November. But right now, let's hit some questions, man. Matthew Dawkins has a question that we don't talk about a lot here. Someone who was released by the WWF shortly ahead of this pay-per-view was interviewer Stephanie Wyand. Can Bruce tell us about late 94 and early 95, this member of the crew? Any fun stories about Stephanie?
Stephanie wasn't there long enough to have any fun stories. Stephanie was part of the Charlie Min. Stephanie came in for some new, young, different talent outside of the wrestling business to host different studio shows. She was the host of Mania, which we did out of Master Control. And we were looking to do more Stanford-based stuff. We used her as a backstage interviewer. Nice lady, but just didn't fit.
Jim Cornette has stated he went up to Vince after the main event and apologized for how bad the match was. Bruce, what do you think that sounded like?
God damn, I suck. What the fuck? I can't even get a good goddamn hamburger, cheeseburger in this fucking country. Get me the fuck out of here. And Pinnaweg, motherfucker.
Troy wants to know.
Fuck you, motherfucker.
Thank you.
Fucker.
Troy wants to know, were there any considerations of putting the Intercontinental belt on anyone other than Razer? He seemed to be a solid choice, but he'd already had a match that night. So was there anyone else discussed? And, was there any chance?
Not really. No. I mean, it was, do you leave it on Dean and get the heat, but it was disgusting heat? Or do you put it on Razer? Razer was really the only candidate at that point.
Jason has a great question here. Why is Bret Hart not on a Canadian pay-per-view? I know he's on commentary, but you know what I mean. Why did he not have a match?
Again, it was an in your house, and these were designed to have a little bit different cards, and you didn't get all the major stars on every one of them.
Mark wants to know, why was Winnipeg chosen for a pay-per-view? The company only did a few TVs there. Any insight as to why Winnipeg was chosen here?
Probably because it was close to Detroit. It's about the only reason I can think of. Detroit's always been a great market. Winnipeg's always been a good fucking hell of a wrestling market.
Adam wants to know, why does Bruce think Davey Boy was so over in the UK, but never quite reached that same level here in America?
Because he was British. I mean, really and truly. I think that Davey Boy was over to a big extent. Davey and Dynamite as a tag team, as the Bulldogs, I think we're over. And I think that Davey also reached a level of success as singles that he was over to a point. Was he a megastar? No. But he was sure as fuck over.
Well, no doubt about that. Jaden wants to know, what was Vince's first impressions of the debut match of Goldust? Did he think he'd picked the wrong guy, or that the gimmick was maybe not the right time, or just needed a little more time?
It needed more time. And I don't know that anyone, I take that back. I think that from my vantage point, I was expecting a bigger reaction of a holy shit, what the fuck is this? And people, I think I gave the audience more credit from this standpoint that, oh my God, everybody, it's Dustin Rhodes and this is such a cool gimmick. But they didn't, and they didn't care, and they were just into the gimmick, and the gimmick wasn't fully fleshed out yet. So we were looking at it as, all right, we got more work to do here, but it wasn't giving up on it at all, because it definitely cool look, cool presentation, and we still had high hopes for it.
Steven's asking the question I think a lot of people are asking. Never got why the belt went back to Razer, who was in the middle of a feud with Kid. At the next In Your House, Ramon teamed with Jannetty and never defended the belt. Seems like a Click decision with lack of foresight to me. Lots of people wrote in and thought, was this the Click doing their deal where, yeah, Sean's got to give it up and that sucks, but one of his buddies is going to get it right away, even if maybe it's not the most thought out idea.
Well, it wasn't the most thought out idea because it was something that had to be made pretty much on the spot as we got closer to it. And we didn't have time to build anything else up. You got to remember also during this time, we were still, banking a lot on syndication, and you had, we were taping and going live on Raw. So you didn't have the time to adjust the way that it became when you went live every week. So the Click had nothing to do with that decision.
Well, we've got a lot to do with the decision next week. We're talking about King Kong Bundy. Pretty excited to be talking about old school. And, I just hope that we get to hear your Ernie Ladd impression a few times.
Bundy! You'll get it next week.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.